It's really my engagement ring. I love it. I bought it for myself from Walmart.
No one broken promises, don't want apologies. Just hold on to mama's hand and never let it go. You don't get your act together, you might have to act together. I don't wanna be the one complaining. Give you a taste of your own medicine. Hey, wanna hear me say your name? Gotta make me say your name.
Picture this. You're worth $3 million. You've got a house, a career, millions of followers watching your every move, and you're standing in Walmart, buying yourself a $600 engagement ring. Not because someone proposed, not because it's a placeholder, but because you want people to think you're engaged. That's exactly what Queen Naija did in September 2024. And when she showed it off, laughing nervously, trying to play it cool, you could see it in her eyes. The embarrassment, the hope, the quiet desperation of a woman who's been waiting 6 years for a question that never comes. 6 years, 2 children together, 3 cars she bought him, a $55,000 Rolex wrapped around his wrist, and she's buying her own ring from Walmart. But here's what nobody's talking about. This isn't just about a ring. This is about a pattern, a cycle that started long before Clarence White ever entered the picture. And to understand why Queen Naija is where she is today, we need to go back to the beginning. October 17th, 1995, Ypsilanti, Michigan. A baby girl is born who would one day become Queen Naija, but her childhood, it was chaos. No bedtime, no structure, no rules. Her mother, Riva, had grown up under strict, suffocating discipline, and she swore she'd never do that to her own kids, so she overcorrected. Hard Queen herself opened up about this on the podcast Keep It Positive, Sweetie. She talked about how that lack of organization, that absence of boundaries, still messes with her today.
My mom was like we had a very free-spirited house with no boundaries, and I think it's because she felt like the house that she grew up in was so super strict, so she was like, oh, I'm not gonna do this to my kids in my house.
Because here's the thing about growing up without structure. You don't learn where the lines are. You don't learn what you deserve. You don't learn when to say no. And that shows up everywhere. In your work, in your friendships, and especially in your relationships. Queen rarely talks about her father. She was raised mainly by her mother, bouncing between Detroit and Ypsilanti. Always moving, but always landing in one constant place. Church, Pentecostal, old school, the kind where people speak in tongues and fall out in the spirit. And Queen, she wasn't just there, she was anointed. At 3 years old, she sang a song called No Weapon, so powerfully that prophets in the service stopped everything. They laid hands on her. They spoke over her life. They warned her. Strong warnings. Prophetic words about her calling, her purpose, her destiny. Words she's been running from ever since. Keep that in mind, because it's going to come back later.
We would bang pots and pans in the kitchen. It was really fun, but like I've been chasing the bus since I was in 5th grade. I'm late to everything. I just left my purse on the plane 2 days ago.
Fast forward to August 2013. Queen is 19 years old and she's getting married. His name? Chris Sales, better known as Chris Sales. 2 teenagers, madly in love, convinced that YouTube pranks and couple vlogs could build a future. They lived in a 1-bedroom apartment. Then low-income housing, money was tight, but the views were growing. In 2015, their son CJ was born, and he became part of the content. Chris and Queen became relationship goals. Young, in love, building something together, at least that's what it looked like on camera. Behind the scenes, the marriage was falling apart. Chris would later admit that they both lost their faith in God during that time. And in 2016, when Queen auditioned for American Idol and got rejected, it crushed her. So she did what so many people do when one dream dies. She doubled down on another. She went all in on YouTube, but the cracks were already too deep. August 2017, Hurricane Harvey slams into Houston. Queen and Chris evacuate to Atlanta. But here's where it gets messy. Chris keeps leaving. First back to Houston, then to Los Angeles. Over and over, he leaves her behind. And Queen, she starts planning her exit. September 2017, she's scrolling Instagram and she comes across a profile, Clarence White, a broke model living in New York. Not just broke, actually living in his mother's basement. But he's got the look, the vibe, the potential. So Queen does what any modern woman does. She slides into his DMs. They start talking. He sends her clothes. It's innocent at first, until Chris finds out. He makes her block Clarence. The marriage limps forward a little longer, but it's already over. When Queen finally reconnects with Clarence, she goes back through his content, and she finds a video, a smash or pass video. She watches as Clarence reacts to her picture. And his response? Lukewarm, unimpressed, it hurt her. But it also lit a fire.
When it got to me, it's like, he said, depart from me. I do not know you.
That fire turned into a song. And not just any song, a song that would change her life. The track references Clarence's middle name, Lorenzo. The lyrics drip with revenge, with longing, with the emotional chaos of a woman still technically married, but already emotionally gone. The song goes absolutely viral. Genius reaches out. They want her to come break down the lyrics. So in January 2018, Queen flies to New York, and for the first time she meets Clarence White in person. They film together, they flirt, the chemistry is undeniable. And just like that, the trajectory of both their lives shifts forever.
I'm a ride, I'm crazy, and you never have a clue.
But wait, there's a problem. Clarence had a girlfriend. Her name was Leslie. And Leslie had been with Clarence for 5 years. 5 years of waiting, supporting, believing in him while he struggled. Leslie later revealed that she used to watch Chris and Queen's vlogs with Clarence. She had no idea that the woman on the screen would eventually become the woman who took her place. But here's the brutal truth. Leslie didn't have what Queen had: money, connections, a platform, a career. And Queen didn't just take Clarence. She took his whole family, brought them into her team, put them on payroll. Clarence quit everything, every hustle, every side gig to become her full-time partner. Not just romantically, professionally. March 2018, Queen signs a major deal with Capitol Records. She's officially in the big leagues now. And who's sitting in those label meetings with her? Clarence, acting like management, like he built this. But the success comes with backlash. April 2018. Gospel legend John P. Key publicly accuses Queen of stealing his melody for her song Karma.
Life and favor. Thank you for bringing me out.
Remember what goes around comes around.
His niece, Lil Mo, a respected R&B artist in her own right, defends her uncle and calls Queen out. And how does Clarence respond? By mocking Lil Mo online, publicly, making jokes, making it worse. Industry insiders start whispering. Stories circulate about Queen's attitude, how she treats people differently based on their status. And Clarence? He's not helping her image. He's making her look worse. August 2018, they move in together. Queen announces she's pregnant. But here's the thing. Her divorce from Chris isn't even finalized yet. The timeline is messy. The optics are messy. But she's in love, and love makes you blind. January 29th, 2019, legend Lorenzo White is born. And immediately drama erupts. Clarence blocks Queen's mother, Reva, from the hospital room. He won't let her in.
I'm just really honored that she sees something in me to share her stage with. She's a legend. And I'm not lying to y'all. The first time I ever opened my mouth and sang a song when I was 3 was Mary J's song.
Oh,
so
man.
it's like a full circle moment for me, and it's like my mom is super proud because I grew up off of Mary and Monica and Whitney, and I'm just really excited. I'm happy that I get to be on tour with my sis LMA. It's just gonna be so fun. I can't.
Fans notice it immediately. The isolation tactics, the way Clarence is cutting Queen off from her family, from her support system. It's subtle at first, but it's there, and it's only going to get worse. Let's talk about October 2018. Queen turns 23. Clarence gives her a gift, a promise ring from Tiffany's, $600. Nice gesture, right? Except just days earlier, Queen had bought Clarence a Rolex. Not just any Rolex. A $55,000 Rolex. The internet erupted. People were furious. She's out here giving luxury, and he's giving crumbs. But Queen defended him, called him a real man, said people didn't understand, but we did understand. We understood that a pattern was forming, a pattern of imbalance, of her giving everything and getting back the bare minimum. March 2019, Queen gets a BBL, a Brazilian butt lift, and later, she admits something heartbreaking. She did it because Clarence wasn't complimenting her, wasn't making her feel beautiful. She changed her body for a man who wouldn't even spend $1,000 on her. She regrets it now, but the damage is done. Now let's jump to May 2023. Chris Sales, her ex-husband, starts dropping hints online. Subtle posts about Clarence's unfaithfulness. About secrets, about things Queen doesn't want the world to know. Then January 2025 hits. A woman leaks DMs, screenshots, allegations that Clarence cheated on Queen and sent this woman $6,000. Clarence denies everything, but the receipts are suspicious. The details are specific, and this isn't new. Back in 2020, an anonymous book dropped online, Queen of Lies. It accused Clarence of escorting, of cheating, of using Queen for her money and platform. Nobody knows who wrote it. Many think it was Leslie, Clarence's ex. She denies it, but the book is still out there, and everything it predicted is coming true. Here's where it gets even messier. After Queen and Chris divorced, Chris started dating Leslie. Yes, that Leslie. Clarence's ex-girlfriend. The whole situation became a tangled web of exes dating exes. Drama feeding drama. That relationship didn't last, but the chaos it created, that's permanent. Let's not forget, Queen is talented, genuinely talented. In 2020, she opened for Mary J. Blige on tour. Mary J. Blige, the queen of hip-hop soul, gave her advice. She told Queen, take your time, simple words, profound meaning. But Queen admitted she doesn't fully understand what that advice means. She's always rushing, always chasing, always trying to prove something. To who? To Clarence? To herself? To the church she left behind? Because being successful doesn't mean you're fulfilled.
People used to ask me that question, how do you balance it all? I used to be like, oh, well, it's easy because it's not.
Queen has 2 sons now. CJ is 9, Legend is 6. And on the cruise show, Queen broke down. She confessed something raw, something real.
I have my therapy sessions in my car. My car has seen every single tear that I've dropped.
She talked about mom guilt, about crying alone, about screaming in her car because that's the only therapy she can afford emotionally. She feels torn, split between being a mother and being an artist, between her kids and her career, and nobody's helping her carry that weight.
It's our 6th year anniversary. We've been together for 6 years, you guys, so There's that.
6 years. That's how long Queen and Clarence have been together. 6 years, 2 kids, a whole life built together. August 2024, their anniversary. Clarence gives Queen flowers and a car. Sounds romantic, right? But if you watch the video, you can see it on her face. Devastation, disappointment, because a car isn't a ring. Flowers aren't a commitment.
Claire Bear did not get her that Birkin. Queen gave the money to Claire Bear, and Claire Bear got her the Birkin, okay?
Then September 2024 comes, and Queen walks into Walmart, buys herself a $600 ring, puts it on her finger, posts it online, laughs nervously and says, "I wear this so people think I'm engaged. Let that sink in." A millionaire woman buying her own engagement ring so strangers on the internet think somebody loves her enough to marry her. And it gets worse. Chris, her ex, exposed something else.
Time around, I'm trying to be consistent. Because, you know, consistency is key.
That Birkin bag Clarence supposedly gifted Queen, she bought it herself. She's been buying her own gifts, her own validation, her own illusions of being chosen. While Clarence benefits from her money, her platform, her career, he's living a luxury lifestyle funded by her success, and he won't even propose. But Queen's not stopping. She's got new music coming.
I feel like music and fashion kind of like goes hand in hand. And I'm like, I really want to get into that. I don't know a lot of the brands and things like that. So that's something I really want to like, maybe I should do that as a hobby, like study that on the side.
An EP through Capitol Records. She's experimenting with Afrobeat with drill-inspired tracks. One song is called Put It On. She's planning strategic rollouts, building consistency, trying to stay relevant.
Will come and be like, your voice is for the Lord's. Don't use it for, but as y'all can see, I'm doing art.
She calls her birthday month Queen-tober. New releases expected. New content. New chances to prove she's still got it. But here's the question. Prove it to who? Because there's something Queen can't escape. On Keep It Positive, Sweetie, she opened up about those prophetic words from her childhood.
It's more so, like, I'm just trying to get my relationship right with God so that I can hear from him directly.
The ones spoken over her when she was 3 years old. She admits she feels called to gospel music, to ministry, to something bigger than R&B love songs.
Like, you're coming any day now, like, and I was like, I just want to be ready. And every day I'm talking to God, I'm like, God, I just want to honor you in everything I do. I know I'm not perfect, but you know I'm trying.
But she's terrified. Terrified that if she obeys that calling, she'll lose everything. The career, the fame, the money, the lifestyle. She even said she feels like Jesus is returning soon, that her R&B career is disobedience, that she's running from God.
Try not to watch like the news and stuff. I'm looking at everything. The Bible is really unfolding. And I'm like, dang, do I make this album? Do I put this out? Like,
And she's right. She knows she is, but she keeps choosing compromise. Let's talk numbers. 2025, Queen Naija's net worth sits at approximately $3 million. Built from YouTube ad revenue, streaming royalties, touring, brand deals. She worked for this, hustled for this, sacrificed for this, but she's still crying in cars, still screaming alone, still buying rings from Walmart to feel chosen.
I'm not trying to be dibbling, dabbling, doing this and that when I do that, because I want it to be very like genuine, you know?
What's the point of wealth if you're empty? What's the point of fame if you're out of alignment with your purpose? You see, this whole story comes full circle. No structure in childhood means no structure in love. From food stamps to fame, but still broken inside, still waiting for Clarence to choose her, still avoiding the voice of God that's been calling her since she was 3 years old. Still pretending through a Walmart ring that everything's fine. Because at the end of the day, Queen Naija is standing at a crossroads. Her voice belongs to God. She knows it. The prophets knew it. Even she admits it. But continuing in R&B means continuing in rebellion. And facing that truth means losing everything she's built. The career, the image, maybe even Clarence. So for now, she wears the fake ring. She posts the content. She drops the music. She keeps pretending. Until one day she can't anymore. And when that day comes, the real question won't be whether Clarence finally proposes. The real question will be whether Queen finally chooses herself, and whether she finally chooses God, because a Walmart ring can't fill a God-sized hole, and no amount of fame can silence a prophetic calling. The clock is ticking, and Queen Naija knows it,